Welcome back to iHeart Crypto. So, Bitcoin's coming in at $20,920, and we're just going to go over the overall market, give you a quick update, and just talk a little bit about crypto in the video. Okay? So, you know, one thing is that we had everyone talking about this inverse head and shoulders here with your shoulder, head, shoulder, and then we thought we were going yippee-ki-yay to the upside. Doesn't look like it's actually playing out. And, let's just take a look at some of the indicators here and just see what's going on. All right, we did have Bitcoin in this like descending, falling channel, broadening wedge. All right, again, not exactly playing out. We do have some other ideas here that can kind of be forming. So we're gonna just take a look at a couple other things. We're gonna get rid of these lines and just go over some of these Fibonacci levels because we do have a new local high here created over the weekend on the 26th of June, and let's just go over it real quick, okay? So, let's just start here on the daily. All right. In fact, let's we always like to start on the weekly, okay? So, on the weekly, all right. Let's start on our Coinbase chart. All right. Our 200-week EMA, all right? We are below that, and we are now starting our second week. We've opened and closed 1 week below that moving average, and now we're starting our second week below that moving average. All right, and in fact, I have this all the way off to the side. That's crazy. Come back to me. Where are you? On this date right here, we have CPI inflation data. That's one thing I'm going to be looking forward to. All right, what date is that? That is on July 11th. We have the data coming out. So I do expect inflation numbers to have gone up. Right now, inflation numbers are at let's see. Those are the rate hikes. Inflation numbers are at 8.3 as of right now. All right, or they were 8.6. Kind of expect them to go up to 9, which is not going to be good for markets in general. Okay, but coming over to the 5-day, we are printing a green dot on the 5-day, but this 5-day is going to close right at the end of the month. So, we have the end of June coming up here. So looking at the monthly, which looks absolutely horrid. All right, I mean, just look at, you have 3 black crows on the monthly, and the last time you had 3 black crows on the monthly, we did get a massive dump. We did move up, though. So is there a chance that we can move up during the summer? It's possible. It is possible. But looking on the 2-week here, you got your Stokes all the way at the bottom. RSI is coming down, but I think that they could absolutely run down more. All right, and if you look back to the bear market here of 2017 or 18, your Stokes stayed low for a very long time. In fact, when you came down, we came down right around here. All right, that's when our Stokes kind of started to bottom out over there in February. All right, our Stokes were low for almost a full 280 days. All right, so like 3/4 of the year. So in the 2-week chart at least, February, or it's been the beginning of the year, so we're about halfway through. Maybe our Stokes stay low before we see a bounce up until about the fall. Maybe. All right. What else we got? All right, so let's go to the weekly. All right. Just look at Heikin Ashi. We are in a systematic downtrend. We have 0 reversal candles here. We had one here. All right, when we were getting support up above, our 28,500 range where these wick lows were. All right, we did have this consolidation here, and we dipped. Now, it's likely that we get another consolidation phase before going lower. Maybe we get a little pump up and then go a little bit lower, but I do think that in the macro, the way things are looking, that we're going to end up going a little bit lower. And in fact, I was looking at the S&P, for example. All right. Looking at the S&P, if you look at it on a monthly, or actually let's go to the 6-month, you have a bearish engulfing candle here on the S&P. And I mean, just look at this parabolic uptrend. I mean, you are due for a correction, in my opinion. I mean, this is just absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And in fact, I mean, let's just throw the fib on there from our swing low to our swing high. And, you know, looking at the S&P, it looks like you could be dropping from here, if you come down to the golden pocket, another 18% in the S&P, which is a lot more in Bitcoin. Just saying. So, just something to be thinking about. So, you know, I know we're at 20K, but, and if you're looking here, you know, that is a ugly candle. Ugly candle for the 6 month. All right, so we also have coming up at the end of the month right here, July 1st, is the quarterly close. So we're going to give another quarterly 3-month candle. And we've had 1, 2, and could be getting 3 negative quarterly candles on Bitcoin. That's possible. You know, one thing is that on our quarterly, you know, we did have this this hammer they call it, a hammer candle. All right. So what else we got? We went to the weekly. Now let's go. Currently a red week. We did get a green dot on our 5-day. That's just something to note. On our 3-day, we had a green dot and nothing played out. So on our daily here, you know, on the daily, I mean, things. I mean, could you be making kind of like a little cup and handle ish? I mean, yeah, that's possible. Little cup, handle, yippee to the upside. I mean, that's possible as well. I mean, look at the volatility that it's gone on today alone. I mean, it's been a little bit of a wild day. They say Monday is like a false move day, but I mean, you had a high of 21,500 and a low of 20,490. So, you know, you're sitting right in the middle of that range. A lot of trading volume going on right now in this region. But one thing we know about Bitcoin is that it likes to come down and take these wicks. All right, so you have all these wicks down here. So is it possible that we're going to be making kind of like a W formation before we, you know, get a little bit of a bounce? It's possible, but really, we've seen zero relief for Bitcoin at least. You know, in this drop. Now, the altcoins are a little bit of a different story. There's been some relief there, but that's neither here nor there, because if Bitcoin isn't moving, then the altcoins aren't moving. But let's just take a look at our indicators here on the other higher time frames. One thing to note is that the Stokes are getting a little bit high on the daily. And then if you look, the Stokes, the last time we had a drop, so we had this drop right here when we broke our bear flag. All right, we had the drop right there. We consolidated, and our Stokes started to run up. We got a couple pumps. We got this big pump over here on, I think that was Memorial Day weekend. Is that right? I think something like that. All right, you got the Memorial Day pump. The Stokes stayed high. All right, we had a little bit of volatility in the middle of the week. Our Stokes were still high on the daily, and then it came down. So that actually lasted. Let's see when our Stokes started to. When our Stokes were a little bit high. So right about here. All right, it lasted about 20 days before the drop, before like the initial drop. Yeah, 18 days. All right, and if you're looking here, let's see, that should be June. CPI inflation data was not there, was it? It should have been on June 11th. Oh, I better place this back. When does the next CPI numbers come out? CPI numbers release. Let's see, July. For July. So we got May was released June 10th. That was no bueno. So, July 13th. So we want to put this guy at July 13th. July 13th. Right here. All right. So, you know, going by that, if we're just looking at that, and in fact, that was when the CPI data came out and we had that big drop right around that time. So can we expect that again? Just to kind of crab around, right? Maybe you get a drop, right? You get your little W formation, right? You come down, come up, create your W. Maybe you'll get support here on your 300. This is your 300 EMA on the weekly. Come up, getting everybody bullish, making some room in your indicators, all right? And you could even come up as high as, 24.5. I think there's a lot of resistance there. If you looked at my past videos, we did have a target there, and we can get a lot of heavy resistance there, and then kind of get your fall. So that would just be something that we're thinking about. All right. So again, your Stokes are coming up high on your daily. Do I think we can run a little bit high here on the Stokes for a little while before coming down? Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to drop now. It really doesn't, in my opinion. It doesn't really make sense for us to be coming down now when our Stokes have just reached the top. I mean, that's not really how that works, is it? I mean, even if you come back up here where we had your initial drop, your Stokes ran up. This was a larger consolidation phase. I just don't think that. I think the market's going to be moving a little bit faster. But you know what? Who knows? But one thing we do know is that we are in this downwards channel. So, I mean, in essence, we are adhering to this channel right here. Boom. I mean, this is our downward channel. All right, right here. Right? So, in essence, we only have this little bit of room. So right there, it was right in the middle of the channel, could be a good time for us to be dropping and then maybe get a bounce back up. So we could drop down to 14K, then get our bounce up, fill some of these imbalances in the chart, and then kind of continue down. It's possible. All right. Just something, we're just spitballing here. All right. But, just diving into the lower time frames, let's look at the 12-hour. I mean, you're going to be continuing with your 55 EMA right there, and that is sitting around $24,000 at this moment. Okay. I think for the most part, we're going to just be crabbing around until the CPI inflation data comes out, and we see where inflation is at, and if those numbers are good, maybe we get a boost up, and we have a great summer. Who knows? But I don't think that number is going to come out very well at all, especially due to we have oil. Oil was up today. All right. The U.S. 10-year Treasury bonds, those are up today. So it's not looking good in the overall macro side of things. And the DXY actually, it's corrected a little bit. It's getting support right here on your 55 EMA on the 12-hour. So, that could be reversing back up to the upside as well. What else we got going on? All right, so let's just dive into the lower time frames and see what we got going on the hourly, and see if you would be interested in getting into any trades at the moment. I mean, to me, this inverse head and shoulders did not play out. You got a lot of sell pressure, a lot of manipulation going on here. I mean, this move over the weekend, there was a move up, and then they just brought it right back down. So, I just think that we're going sideways. Sideways time is a great time to be just liquidating traders, thinking we're going to get a big move to the downside or to the upside, and really we just kind of crab around. So you're going short, thinking we're going down, the market maker brings it right back up, and you think we're going up when he spikes it up, and then he's going to bring it right back down on you. So, if I was trading right now, which I am not, I would be in and out of these trades with no hesitation. All right. So in the very low time frames, all right, what do you got? You got yourself a little rising wedge on the 15-minute. All right, that's what you got. Your Stokes are high on the 15-minute. You're printing a yellow and a red dot on this candle right here. So is it possible you come back down? Yeah, it is possible. And if you were going to be coming down, let's see what you'd be coming down to. Let's go to our KuCoin chart. All right. I mean, you got major support here over here at 20,500 in my opinion. Right there, you got a big high volume node right there. Let's blow this up a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, the thing is that if that support breaks, you could be coming down to Goblin Town. Okay? So, let's just throw the fib on there and see where we're at as far as fib levels go. So we got swing down to swing high. Alright? Your golden pocket is sitting in there around $19,000. Your next stop on this fib, which was support before, is around $20,211. I do think that you're probably going to test this low over here at around $19,745. Okay, so be mindful of those levels right there. You break that, you could get a bounce from your golden pocket. Maybe that's where you make your W formation, but really, I do think that you're going to end up hitting some lower levels. I mean, because you do have high vector candles down here from our last dump and our run up. So let's just take a look at our vector candles from Trader's Reality. All right, so on the 1 hour, you got a vector candle there, and you got this big vector candle right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. All right, right here, you got this vector candle down here that was never taken. Okay, this one you can kind of say was taken. All right, but this one was not. All right, and it's sitting right below the golden pocket. And what do we know about the golden pocket? Is we know they like to bring it to the golden pocket, but we also know they like to bring it a little bit below the golden pocket. So, I mean, if you wanted to put in a short here, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, if I had a little extra cash on the side that I, wouldn't mind playing with, I mean, that from here down to that vector candle in this area right here, I mean, that's a 10% move. You throw 5x leverage on that, that's a 50% move down to the downside. That's a nice little payday, 5x leverage on Bitcoin. That's not too bad. But you're playing a little bit of a risk there because one, what I would do is I would wait for the hourly Stokes to reset, or at least you're making some room to the upside. 2 hour, your Stokes are at the bottom. 4 hour, the Stokes are just not with you for a short. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't like that. Your time to short was when your 4 hour Stokes were up here, and you were above your 55 EMA waiting for him to smack it down. That was your time to short. It's a little bit more risky at this point, but but what do you got? Your 6 hours at the bottom, your 8 hours with you if you're on your short, your 10 hours good, your 12 hours good, your 18 hours good, but your daily still has some room to run to the upside. So I do think that we're just going to be crabbing around. So it's very likely that you might get another green candle. There was also something else here. I think I did see a little bit of a head and shoulders kind of starting to form here. Okay, yeah, look. So let's just get these fibs out of here and just play around with this idea real quick. So I think that we do have kind of a head and shoulders starting to form out. So here you have a left shoulder, a head, and let's say you make that low right there, then you make another right shoulder before you come down. So you have a little head and shoulders here and a little W formation starting to play out. That's just a projection. Just something to think about. The other thing is these alts have really run crazy. I mean, look at AVAX. I mean, AVAX made its W formation. It filled up, all these shorts here. It made them close it out. It hit the 55 EMA on the 12 hour. And now it's coming back down. So a lot of things are oversold. Do I think that we play around in this range here for a while? Yeah. I think that we're just going to be range bound for the next week to 2 weeks, So just something to be thinking about. We're probably just going to be range bound, kind of, again, we're going to come down, kind of make a head and shoulders before we come down and test some of these lower fib levels and kind of take this wick down here. So, if you do see the price start to come up and come close to that previous high, I would be shorting probably this wick right here. I would want them to come back up and take this wick. So if I were to put in a short, let's go here to this chart right here. If I'm planning out my short, all right, and it looks like you're pumping a little bit on your 8 hour, again, crab action, I would want my short, we couldn't get above here. this is where you'd want to be short from. Anywhere in this region. So anywhere between your previous high at 21,800 and your opening closures right here at the top of at least the 8 hour, 21,500. If you can catch a short in there, I think you're golden. I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, you're not gonna be able to go 100x leverage, but I mean, you don't really need to, you know. You go 10x leverage in there, and you have some, and you don't go all in and you ladder it in. I think that you'd be fine. So I'm gonna leave that there. That in essence is where when I get paid, I think that I'm gonna try to be shorting from. I'm trying to put my short in if price does come up that high. Again, I don't know if it's going to, because I do think that we do have like this head and shoulders here forming. But again, you got that shoulder right there. There's your head, right? Everyone will try to go short there. They'll come back up. They're going to want to grab the liquidity up there. I don't know how high it's going to come. That's the problem. Before we head back down. That's the idea. All right. So that's the general idea on Bitcoin at the moment. But looking at coin market cap, all right. I mean, things were up in the past week. We had a really good week. All right. If you did buy the dip, all right, on a lot of these altcoins, they did run. Bitcoin dominance is absolutely like, I don't even know what to say about Bitcoin dominance. I mean, look at it. It's insane to me. I mean, we were pumping, we corrected. We are holding support on this line right here. So I am bullish on Bitcoin dominance. So again, we had the alts come. We had a good run for the alts. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at a 12. Always a good time to be buying Bitcoin, but there's a lot of fear in the market. Let's look at our bubbles. What's going on our bubbles for the day? Luna C pumping, I guess, but nothing crazy on the hourly. Ape seems to be running a little bit today. I know Sand had a good couple of days, the past couple of days. Bitcoin exchanges outflows are at an all-time high as usual. I don't really care anymore. I don't really think that Bitcoin's being off exchanges has that much effect on the price. If you want a copy of the Beginner's Guide to Crypto Assets, it's in the link in the description below. And I have homework to do, so that is going to be it for my video today. All right, we're looking for a head and shoulders. All right, we are looking to short Bitcoin right in that range right there. All right, so that is the general idea. So if Bitcoin comes back up into that range right here, and tries to grab some of that liquidity, all right, that's where I want to be shorting from. Let's see if this is a high vector candle here on the 15-minute. I mean, in essence, we did get some really high vectors here, and it came back down and took them. I think that's fine. It looks like the market makers are trying to push price down. I don't know that if we're gonna get up into there, all right. But I think anywhere in here is a good short. Let the price come up, start laddering in your shorts, because I do think that we're coming down over in the next week, especially with those numbers coming out. All right, when are the numbers coming out again? Let's see how long we got. We should have. Let's get the Trader's Reality off there. I mean, 13 days. We got 2 weeks. Interesting stuff. All right. So that's the general idea. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.